Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, Bella here. In today's video, we're going to talk about how to describe an object. If you're interested in today's video, please keep watching. If you find the content helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss a video with me. Without further ado, let's jump in. To describe an object is another challenge for a lot of English learners because often we don't know where to start. Let's say we want to describe a piece of clothing that we always like to wear. Many of us would first be hit with questions like, what do we start describing first? The color, the style, the texture, or the material? We're not sure. And a lot of times we're also overwhelmed with different ideas. There seems to be too much that we can talk about, but we just don't know where to start. It might be due to the lack of vocabulary for describing the object, like the style or the color of the piece of clothing in this case. And we're not sure how to vividly describe the texture of the material either, except for the words like smooth and soft. And what if the piece of clothing we have in mind has some patterns on it as well? How do we go about describing that without confusing everyone, including ourselves? It can be quite stressful. It might also be that we run out of stuff to talk about before time is up, or that in this case, after explaining that this is a red t-shirt that we really like, we could not think of anything else to say but keep repeating we like it very much. We often find our descriptions quite flat, and by that I meant we were only scratching the surface. Our description sounds very much like something that we would say 15 to 20 years ago at elementary school because we don't know how to make it more interesting, or in another word, juicier. Similar to other topics we have discussed previously, the videos for which you can find on my channel here, one of the biggest hurdles for when it comes to describing an object is the selection of details. We often get lost in the description of the object that we forgot why we selected this particular object in the first place. Regardless of how well or poorly you can describe an object, not all details are as important. Let's look at the example again. If we are to describe a piece of clothing that we enjoy wearing, I would think that the key information here for you to deliver is something that you enjoy wearing. We need to put more emphasis on why it is that this is the t-shirt that you enjoy wearing the most, and make sure to only select relevant details to elaborate with. Based on my own understanding of this subject, I have put together some tips here, hoping that they would provide you with some insights on how to talk about this topic. Tip number 1. No need to cover all the details. There's no need for us to cover all the details about its appearance. If you're describing a t-shirt that you like, maybe you can focus on the bright color, or the texture, meaning how soft it is, or simply the pattern on the t-shirt. It would be a lot easier if we select no more than 2 pieces of information to focus on in our description. It will be less chaotic and thus more memorable for our listeners too, without having to remember an overwhelming amount of detail. Our description would be much more vivid and captivating if we continue to elaborate on the 1 or 2 features we selected for the object. Tip number 2. Go beyond the appearance of the object. Often when we talk about an object, we're more prone to get stuck in trying to come up with more descriptive language about its appearance. Maybe this is the time for us to take a step back and look around. What about how we came into possession of this item? Did we buy it ourselves, or did somebody give it to us as a present? What about the main functions of this object? What do we use it for? Are we using it differently from other people? Does this item have sentimental values for us, or are we emotionally attached to it? These are also aspects we can talk about while describing a particular object. It goes way beyond simply what it looks like. And only when we include details like this can we put together a more intriguing description, as it provides an almost 3-dimensional view of what this item is like. Tip number 3. emotions and feelings make it a lot easier for us to connect with our listeners. Never ever overlook the importance of talking about one's feelings. I've also mentioned this point in my previous video about how to describe a previous experience. When we're describing a physical item to others, we tend to focus more on the facts and features of the thing. In reality, however, the exchange of emotions and feelings is what helps us connect with others. Take the same example of describing a piece of clothing that I enjoy to wear. What matters most in my description is not so much how this piece of clothing looks like, but more so what it means to me and why I like it so much. It could be that I received this t-shirt from someone really important to me, or the pattern on the t-shirt has special meanings for me, or any other reason that makes me emotionally invested in this shirt. Other people might not have the exact item or experience as you do, but we all have felt similarly at one point or another. And it brings people a lot closer when feelings and emotions are being communicated in a conversation. Alright, that's it for today's video. I will provide a sample answer in my next video to help explain the points that I made in this one. Please stay tuned. Thank you so much again for watching my video. Until next time, take care.